Hiya friends, how's it going? Hopefully everybody's doing great. Today the Cursed City dropped in Raid, and Plarium's been hyping up this update for quite a while. They said a bunch of stuff about it like it was going to be bigger than Doom Tower, and for reference, Doom Tower is my favorite thing in the whole game. I had so much fun going through it, trying to figure out how to beat every room, beat every boss, beat every rotation. I just had the most fun ever. When it ended, I really wish there was a fourth rotation. So when they say things like bigger than Doom Tower, that definitely piques my curiosity. Whereas things like Phantom Grove's Shogun and Sand Devils don't really interest me. So here we are. I am just going through the first few rooms here. There's nothing crazy. You can see it's pretty easy so far. And I actually didn't realize this when I started queuing for stuff. I mean, queuing, whatever. You know, when I started clicking on things, I just went in there and started clicking on things, doing rooms. So I didn't actually notice there are two difficulties, just like Doom Tower. You've got your normal, you've got your hard. And it started me on hard, which is good because, you know, I always want to start high and move down if I need to. So maybe it just starts you on the one that you usually do. I'm not sure. So two difficulties, so you can definitely go in there on normal if you're not confident on hard yet. And the thing about this is the closest thing I could compare it to, and it is a very close comparison, is the whole thing is basically like doing Doom Tower secret rooms. Where you have the room, but unlike regular Doom Tower, where you can just go in there with whatever the heck you want, all your most bestest champs, your best teams, they're giving you the requirements here that it's got to be from certain factions, it's got to be certain types of champs, you know, support, attack, whatever. And so, like, that's what I'm doing here. Like, I had 2 deacons and an ox. And now I've arrived at my first boss fight, which is the Nether Spider, exactly as she is, but I was only allowed to use these specific champions. You know, I've got Rector Drath, I've got Mortu Macabre, I've got Magnar, I've got a level 50 Taragi and a level 50 Dur the Hungerer, who I really doubt even has gear on, honestly. So you can see that already this is the first fight, and it's not pretty for me. I don't have a lot of champs in this area. I'm not gonna lie, I restarted this a few times. In the end, it's basically only one due to some lucky peril procs. So already, you know, first boss, my account is challenged, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, I've got some good champions, but by no means do I have a lot of champions. I don't have a crazy amount of champions leveled from all the factions. When the factions I've completed, they were super struggly. I went in there with maybe 1 or 2 60s and just sort of somehow finagled the whole thing, because I also find that fun. I haven't even completed Faction Wars yet. I don't have Lydia, even though I have done most of the content in the game. I have done all Doom Towers on hard. I do Hydra, Brutal, and Below. Haven't worked my way up to Nightmare yet. So you can do all of that stuff without having a crazy array of champions leveled, but here is somewhere in the game where finally I'm going to need to start looking into things, I guess. And yeah, you can see this boss fight was total luck. As the first boss fight, we got some gear from the new sets. They added like I don't know, like 3 new sets or something. Supersonic, Merciless. They're all sort of like the Stone Skin and Protection, where it goes up to a 9-piece set. From what I can tell so far, they seem really PvP focused. So that was perhaps their goal with it. Like this one, it's speed, and then you get like more speed depending on how many buffs the enemy has. So definitely go through those and read it. And I ended up selling it because, you know, it's like this, it's 5 star, it's not great. I will never get a 9-piece set of any of that stuff. And here's me being really confused about the map because the numbers are arranged kind of weirdly. Like C6 was in one place, but C7 is like across the world. And yeah, I mean, my goal, I'm just going to keep going through these rooms until I can no longer go through these rooms and I've got to drop down to normal, which is fine. I can already tell just based on my limited champ pool that this is going to be a struggle area for me. And it might be kind of fun because I really need to put my focus back on faction wars as it is, because I probably could have gotten Lydia like months ago if I buckled down and did it, and I just didn't because it was annoying. Because like I've finished dwarves and then I get somebody cool like Newt, and I feel like I shouldn't level him because I feel like I should be leveling somebody in Shadowkin or Sylvan Watchers or somebody that I have absolutely nobody. And so it just started to annoy me because I had all these cool champs in factions that I'd already finished, and I really wanted to level them. I had Newt, I had Razelvarg, I had Artok, but I'd already finished all those factions. And then one day I just said, screw it. I went crazy. I leveled them all anyway. I have shelved faction wars so hard. I haven't bothered to do anything in there in so long. But so maybe this will get me back on the path. The question, I guess, is what do I make of all this? And keep in mind, this is the first day it's been out. These are my first impressions. They might change in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year, whenever I can manage to make it through all this stuff. But for now, just coming in as a normal player, a normal person, a typical enjoyer of raid content, somebody who really enjoyed Doom Tower, I gotta say, to come into the update that was advertised as biggest update ever, bigger than Doom Tower, and just fight the same boss I've already fought a billion times with just this little added caveat that I'm going to use these characters is really lame. Like, it's boring. Like, if this were Doom Tower, I would go in, I would do the first 10 rooms, and then I would fight this exact boss. So this is really like the only new thing here. Everything else is just, you know, here's Bommel, here's Nether Spider, here's the Scarab, here I think I saw Iron Twins over here. So this is really the only true new boss, which it's not interesting, it's not exciting to come into this new content and fight the same boss that I've already fought a bajillion times. And I know they've got these double boss fights. Like, look, you're gonna fight the Magma Dragon and Hard Spider at the same time. Then there's all, you know, like, look at how terrible my team is gonna be. It's gonna be 2 Geomancers and a level 50 Helior and some food. So granted, it's going to be a challenge, no doubt, but is fighting the same 2 bosses that I've already fought a billion times, but now they're together, that's not really cool to me. I want to come in, I want to see something awesome. I don't want to fight the same bosses that I've fought thousands of times at this point. And something else that kind of rubbed me the wrong way about this content is they have these awakening rooms. You can see that I did one here, nothing too crazy. Basically what it's saying here is you have to have 5 collective awakenings between your champions. So I've, you know, grabbed the few champs I have with awakenings, but these go super high. Like this one, you have to have 20 plus collective awakening stars on your champions. And, you know, awakenings they're some of the least accessible content in the game to Free to play players, they're super spendy. It is impossible to have a bunch of good awakenings on your account unless you've spent some money on soul stones. Like, I've been doing Iron Twins 15 daily for a long time, and this is this is the extent of my awakenings. You know, I've got some in my altar of souls. You know, if someday I should get all of these incredible champions, but for the most part, no, these will probably sit here forever, and that's gonna be it. So awakenings are super, super inaccessible. So just to see that kind of barrier, like to even be allowed to attempt this stage, I would have to have 20 plus awakenings is really disappointing to see, you know? Like, it's not even gonna let me try it. Like, I guarantee you this is beatable without 20 plus stars worth of awakenings, you know? So, yeah, just, I think the whole thing is, so far, again, first impressions, it's a bit lazy because we're just seeing all of the same recycled stuff over and over again, except now they're saying, hey, you're gonna fight Bommel with this stuff. And these spendy awakening rooms, I think for me, Doom Tower was much more enjoyable so far because at least you get the complete choice of who do you want to pick to tackle this content instead of being told what you should pick to tackle the content. So again, that is my first impressions. I would love to hear what you guys think, how you're enjoying the new content, how everything else is going. But that's my thoughts just from the first couple days here. And you guys enjoy the rest of your week and take care of yourselves. Goodbye.